The pros are the cons. The pros are you get to kind of understand yourself in probably ways that you weren't privy to prior to seeing a therapist. And the con is that, like, you get exposed to yourself, like you see parts of yourself, you're like, ugh, this is terrible. But with that information, it's up to you to like put the work in if you want to grow from it or remain the same person that you were when you went in. Yeah, it's kind of been my experience with therapy. I love it though.
It happens.
Yo, I haven't cleaned sneakers in a while. I usually just kind of let them get to a point where it just gets that wear and tear look to it.
What's your process for a nice and clean sneaker?
Definitely do the toothbrush route. It's like toothbrush and like some soap or something of some sorts.
Do me a favor and just keep this bottle back here.
I got you.
So, as we do the interview, oh, this is wet, immediately wet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, be careful with that.
As we do the interview, did you want to repeat the question and then say it, or did you want to just have a conversation every time I ask you a question, you just answer things?
No, we'll just have a conversation.
Okay, cool.
I think, yeah, it's a little more authentic.
Got you. Well, you got to put more on there. There's not enough on that.
Yeah.
Don't try and save the product on my accord.
Don't skimp it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
So, what are the name of these sneakers?
Oh, these are Union LA 1's. Yeah, Union LA, I guess they're Los Angeles based. I had their 2s that I bought a couple years ago, and I love those 2s. And I heard they were releasing a pair of 1's. Initially, I didn't really care for these shoes. Like, I didn't like the design, I didn't like the stitching on it. But my girl actually was the one that put me on. She's like a big sneakerhead. She was like, yo, this shit's a fire. I'm like, I'm not impressed. But then I just kept like seeing it pop up on my page, and I'm like, yo, I actually kind of like fucking with these. Like, these are kind of tough.
No curses.
Got you.
But yeah, keep going.
I'm actually rocking with these. I'm like, yo, these are kind of tough. So, yeah, when they finally dropped, I went on this GOAT, copped me a pair, and yeah, I haven't looked back since. I love the shoes now. Like, I wear them damn near everywhere. Damn, can I say damn? Yeah.
What is your criteria for an everyday sneaker?
I usually like something with a very basic colorway, like a cream, white or black, just so it can kind of go with every fit. And it has to be comfortable, because this would be the shoe I used to run errands. I DJ a lot too, so like I want a shoe that I will be on my feet on, like, I'll just be on my feet a lot, utilizing. So yeah, it needs like a certain comfort level as well. And it needs to be fly, feel me?
As a DJ, how important is it to get the right pair of sneakers?
Oh, super important. That's the difference between a good back and a bad back. Yeah, and I'm definitely at a place in life where, I used to laugh at like my dad buying shoes for comfort, but I definitely am in that space now. Especially being a DJ, like being on your feet a lot, like you definitely have to put that extra time and effort looking into shoes that like work best, for you while you're, on the job.
What's the pros and cons of being a DJ? 3 pros, 3 cons.
3 pros, 3 cons. Good question. Let's start with pros. You get exposed to an exuberant amount of music that the average person doesn't get exposed to. Personally, I feel like that's a pro. You listen to music as an active experience, as opposed to like passively. And if you do things right with DJing, it can actually open doors for you that probably wouldn't have been open to you otherwise. You just have a lot of access to things that I feel like the average person doesn't typically have, or unless you're like a recording artist or like an A&R, things of that nature. As far as cons, yeah, your sleep schedule is gonna be fucked up. Your sleep schedule is gonna be messed up. If you don't take your time, like putting your health as a priority, it'll catch up to you. Because eating late, having a lot of exposure to alcohol, all that can just kind of catch up to you later in life. And then back to that first con of how you listen to music, there's also a con with that is it changes how you listen to music, because it's hard to get back to that place where you listen to music as a place of like just pure joy, just like experiencing music. Like now I listen to music, I'm like, yo, with this work in a set, like with this, like there's an agenda behind it, which I really don't enjoy. So yeah.
As a DJ, is it difficult for music to be therapeutic for you?
Is it difficult? Nowadays it is. But I do find artists that I can still like go to for that therapy though. For me, someone like Cleo Soul, like her album Mother, it's like every time I feel like I'm in a very down or dark place, I just listen to the album and it literally feels like my mom giving me a hug. Yeah, she put something in the album, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's super therapeutic. So yeah, I found artists that I can like still have that connection with. But it is tough though.
Is there a certain amount of friction that's caused from having to hunt down people for your money as a DJ?
Oh yeah. There is, but it also comes with how much of a boundary you want to set with these people. Yeah, I feel like if you set a good enough boundary, you're gonna have a lot of friction with people, because I think some people like kind of take advantage of like friendships or relationships they have with you and feel like, oh yeah, I could just kind of pay you when I need to. But if you set a boundary down with people, like it'll take them, for one, they're all gonna respect that boundary eventually. But yeah, that friction is definitely gonna occur where you might lose a friend in that process or lose an acquaintance. But I do feel like saying your boundaries is a lot more important, because if that person was really a friend, like they would respect that and still try to continue that friendship with you. Hope that answered the question.
Do you have any stories you can share on that?
No, I've always set boundaries. I've seen this with more so other people and how they've been treated, because I don't have a specific story per se on my end, but it was something where I never set the boundary and someone took advantage of it. But I learned my lesson to like, okay, moving forward, I can't put myself in a situation where that ever happens again. And I could tell you that story. Do I just clean this with this? So I used to work in the nightclub scene. Thank you.
It's for you to read the instructions.
Oh. Oh, cool. All right. So I used to work in the nightclub scene. Do I have to mention names? No. But say I worked for this nightclub group called Shoes. And I was like the opening DJ. It was like very early in my career. Funny enough, this led me to start DJing at the place where we met. But yeah, I used to open up for this guy. He was like one of the main promoters. But I could tell he like, I don't know, he had like this weird power dynamic that he wanted to flex on me. And I was gullible back then. I was like, you know, what have you? Like, I'm like, all right, I guess this is how like the structure works here. Like, we're not like a corporate type of setting. So I'm sure people that have that kind of power are going to want to flex that on you. So I kind of just accepted it for what it was, which was a big mistake on my part. But moving down, I mean, as time went on, he would like undercut me with my DJ fee, and I was just be like, all right, this is the only consistent gig I'm getting, so I can't really fight back on it. He'd like tell me how to dress, like, be like, yeah, you have to dress a certain way to like play these clubs, and I'm like, yeah, but well, why is everybody else dressing a certain way? Why are you only telling me? He was like, yeah, don't worry about that. Like, you're representing us, and like you have to dress a certain way. I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. So this kind of like set the tone with his relationship with me. Down the line, he wanted to throw a birthday. One of my friends had a birthday party coming up, and he wanted me to reach out to this friend who was pretty popping in his circle. And he was like, yo, let's host this birthday party for him. I'm like, nah, this guy doesn't go out. Like, that's not his thing. Like, he would rather just be home, celebrate his birthday with like loved ones. And he's like, no, I need you to make that happen. I was like, I'm promising you right now, I'm telling you right now, nothing's gonna come of this, but I am gonna ask him. Sure enough, I asked him and he said, fuck no. And he said, no, I'm not doing it. I came back, I relayed the message to him, and he was like, yeah, just keep pushing. Like eventually he's gonna come around. I'm like, all right, bro. Yeah, that's not gonna change. But upon myself, I'm not gonna bother my friend. So I stopped asking. Little did I know this man went and booked a night at a certain club, made a flyer, and like sent it to me. He was like, yo, send this to your boy. Like, I think we were coming from a show. He was like, yo, send this to your boy and y'all can pull up after the show here. Like, it'll be a surprise for him. I'm like, yo, bro, he's not coming. He was like, yo, you have to bring him. I'm like, he said he doesn't want to come to the club. Like, he just wants to go eat and go home. He's like, yeah, but I need you to do this for me. So I'm like, bro, this dude's wildin'. So me and my friend, we grabbed some food, and I asked him, he was like, yo, do you really want to go to any club to celebrate? He's like, no, I just want to go home. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go home. So we went home. I get this man's like blowing my phone up, like, yo, where's your friend? Like, we're here waiting, like, da da da. And I'm just not responding. I'm like, I'm going to bed, bro. This is kind of getting weird. Next day, he calls me up. He's like, yo, you know, after what happened yesterday, I'm like very disappointed how things turned out, and very sorry to do this to you, but like we're just gonna have to move in a different direction as far as like you DJing for us. I'm like, bro, you're cutting me off because I didn't bring someone that didn't want to have a birthday event to your event. He was like, yeah, nah, it's not even personal. It's just, we're just kind of moving in the wrong direction. I mean, yeah, bro, first off, just be a man about it. Like, you don't have to like do this back and forth. Like, I'll actually respect you more if you just like stand on your on your 10 toes and like voice what you, like how you really feel. And he's like, no, it's nothing personal, man. Like, you really just, I'm like, all right, bro, this conversation's over, but, have a great day.
You can clean the bottoms too.
I clean the bottoms? Okay.
Yeah. That's a crazy story.
That was the last time I had a one-on-one conversation with this man. And then I went broke for like 2 months because no gigs were coming in. And I was like, yo, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to school? Do I have to like go get a real job? Like, yeah, it was rough. Then God's being God threw me an alley-oop. A friend of mine needed me to fill in for him at Velvet Lounge. And I went in at Velvet Lounge and bodied my set. Like, I literally had to give everything I had for that set. Dad got me a residency there and literally changed the trajectory of my DJ career. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of that story. I did run back into him. He came and was like, the guy wants to like DJ now. So he was learning how to DJ from my roommate at the time. So yeah, he was coming around my crib, and I think I like saw him on the hallway as I was like going downstairs to grab water. And he was like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's good? I'm like, why is this man in my house? So I went and like talked to my roommate about it. Like, yo, what's this dude in my house? And he's like, oh yeah, he wants to learn to be a DJ. Like, I was giving him lessons. I'm like, oh, okay, good for him. And I just left that be. But yeah, to the best of my knowledge, he's a DJ now. So.
But nowhere relevant.
Yeah, more power to him, though, man. But yeah, that just taught me a lesson as to like, you got to set your boundaries with people early, or they're gonna take full advantage of that and end up in a situation like I did.
What are 3 pieces of advice you'd give to someone learning to enforce their own boundaries?
Be selfish. Because sometimes when people try to set boundaries, you tend to want to think about how other people feel because you're so used to doing it. And for one, it's okay to just like put yourself first, and you have to be selfish. Don't run away from confrontation, because setting boundaries is going to come with a lot of confrontation. And it's very uncomfortable at first, but once you do it a couple times, you realize like, oh, no, this is actually like healthy for both parties. And thirdly, yeah, that's a tough one. Thirdly, yeah, don't back down, because sometimes you might set a boundary, and I can wipe it with this, right? You might set a boundary and then feel like you need to double back because it made that person feel uncomfortable, and it's almost like you want to be liked, but it's okay to just like live in that uncomfortableness, like both of you. And that's usually how you accomplish that boundary being set. Because now that person will want to avoid being in that uncomfortable position, and they're not going to do that thing that they did to you to get to that point. So, yeah, stand your ground.
Do you have a story of compromising your own boundary and how that affected you in the negative?
Wow, that's a good question. Situation where this is most of like a relationship, but not necessarily in the career field. But yeah, I dated someone that kind of just let her not have a way in the sense of like how she talked to me, but like I kind of gave her a pass with a lot of things that she said. You know, it was just like, oh no, she's gonna come around, and yeah, that day never came. And to this day, we don't talk to each other because she crossed the line one time, and like I was spazzed out on her, and RIP to that relationship. But
would you say she was a habitual line stepper?
oh, 100%. I just kept letting her do it. Like, I always give her an excuse as to like why it was okay for her to do so. Seems clean, right?
Seems like you put a lot of good work in that.
Yeah, I like it. It's fire. Yeah, man. Shoot.
Good product.
Great product.
So you have dealings with Red Bull as a DJ. What was that time like for you?
Doing Red Bull 3 style was it was the catapult to get me, I guess, to the position I'm at right now. Like, that I can comfortably live off a DJ salary. But as it was happening, I didn't know where things were going. Like, it was just, to me, I really looked at it as like another gig that I had to like kind of get through. But it just so happened to be a DJ battle. But I didn't know where it was gonna lead me. I didn't know what the end result was gonna be as far as like the placement when I was done. I just knew I had to put my best foot forward, which I definitely did. But it's also an experience where I didn't only grow as a DJ, but I like build these relationships with people that like to this day still reach out to for support, still reach out to like just, you know, homies that like friends for life, damn near. So yeah, it brought a lot to the table for me in the best of ways. Hope that answered the question.
What was your highlight from being a part of the Red Bull 3 style competition?
Honestly, bro, just being in it. Like, I remember the day I got the email, and I was sitting on the toilet seat. And yeah, I was just, you know, you be on the toilet seat on your phone, and I'd submitted my videos like I think a couple months ago. Really much forgot about it. Like, I didn't think anything else was coming from it. Then I got the confirmation that, yo, you've been accepted in the Red Bull 3 style battle, and it's gonna be happening in Washington, D.C. I'm like, yo, that's nuts. But like, that was the highlight. Me getting that email, and I literally like finished doing what I was doing in that bathroom and ran up to my boy who I was actually living in his basement because I couldn't afford rent by myself. Put more. Yeah, so yeah, he was just as excited. Like, he was just one of those people that like believed in me, like saw my talent, and just we're all just kind of hoping for something like that to happen. Which yeah, it sure did. But yeah, the highlight was getting that email, man.
Is there a concern with having notoriety?
No, I don't. I think it helps, if anything. And honestly, I don't feel like I have the notoriety I want. So I can't really feel like I can answer that honestly until I get to the notoriety that I want. But from the outside looking in, I don't see it as like a bad thing. Because we live in an age where currency is like, the greatest currency on social media is attention. And to get people's attention, you need some sort of notoriety. So I feel like, yeah, it's a good little thing to have under your belt.
What kind of notoriety would you like for yourself?
National acclaim would be nice. International acclaim would be the dream. But yeah, national acclaim in the sense of like, I can go to any city and throw an event and sell 1,000 tickets. Feel like that's a big accomplishment for me. Also, I have a goal of music where I produce and like I want some sort of notoriety for that. Oh, sorry. Currently, I have notoriety within the DJ circle because people play my edits, but the average person doesn't know a DJ Bo edit, you know. But if I can get to like a K Tronada level, like that's the goal. But that also comes with a lot of work.
You've recently changed your DJ name in the last 8 years. What led to that change?
I didn't change my DJ name though. I changed my handle.
But the handle's what people know you for in this social time.
Yeah, well, Sway's the reason for that.
What a great trip.
Oh, it was an amazing trip. But yeah, I had I think my handle at the time was _ DJ Bo _ It was DJ Bo 301 _ I don't know. It was something with an underscore, and Sway was just like, bro, that looks disgusting. To give context.
Talk about the Sway story.
To give context, I went to New York with you, and we took a trip because I was invited to do Sway in the Morning, and you had offered to go stay at your mom's place, and I was like, you want to do this road trip together? And you were like, hell yeah, let's do it. So we hopped in the car, drove up there. Then we spent the night at your mom's, got to meet your mom's. She's a sweetheart. Shouts out to her. And the next morning we drove into Manhattan, and that's when I had to do the recording. Shouts out to DJ Wonder, by the way, who got me the look. But Wonder has this program where if you reach out to him, oh man, I'm terrible with that. If you reach out to him, or you're just someone that he would recommend to get on Sway in the Morning, he will give you that shot. So I really appreciate him for that. And Sway is also very open to it. Like, they just bring DJs and rotate DJs all the time to do guest DJ sets on a very popular radio show by a very important person in the music industry. So
You don't have to answer Sway.
so that was like an important moment. But yeah, I rode up there with you. We got to do the set. They enjoyed the set, you know, and then I had an interview portion after with Sway. And, you know, he was asking about me, asking about my background, like things I do, where I'm from, all that. Then he asked about my handle, and that's when I told him it was the underscore, and he was like, that's disgusting. Like, you need to figure that out. And I was like, Jesus Christ, not Sway going off on my name, bro. Like, now I gotta go change my IG handle, bro. So yeah, I just went back home, did some digging. It was like, all right, it looks like I need to come up with a better way to brand it. And I'd always played around with like the Bo Jackson moniker, because, you know, Bo knows and all that. So initially, it was gonna be, my ideal way of doing it was, Instagram was gonna be Bo Knows IG, SoundCloud would be Bo Knows SoundCloud, and Bo Knows Twitter. And all those, one of them were taken. I think Bo Knows IG was taken. And I was like, bro, you're killing me right now. So I had to just go with BoKnowsDjing on literally every platform. And that's what it is now. That's what it's been since that month, the month after I went on Sway. So, yeah. I still don't like the name though.
In a world of marketing, how important is your branding?
Super important. It's like, it's literally a be-all, end-all of marketing. Because, I mean, in the world of marketing, branding should be on end-all. Because that's what people remember you by. That's what people book you as. So I do a lot of online videos. And people kind of know me for my routines. And I've been booked for parties because of those routines. And I remember one of them went viral. It was like a reggaeton mix with an R&B record. And for 2 months straight, it felt like I had a one-hit wonder where people just wanted me to keep doing that routine at every party. And I'm like, bro, no. Like I would say no, and then people would get bummed out. And I'm like, oh man, now I have to do a routine. Like I have to. So yeah, I was stuck doing that routine for like 2 months at every party I'll play. But people were like trying to book me in Dallas, book me in LA, and like I'll get to these places and be like, yeah, you have to do the routine. I'm like, oh my God, bro, this is crazy. But yeah, all that to say, and I'm not a reggaeton DJ. I'm an African man that grew up here in the States. I love Afro beats, and like that's kind of like my bag, and hip hop is what I grew up on. So that's what I'm more comfortable playing. So for me to now get pulled into the reggaeton Latin world was it's a big shock to the system. But I do love and respect the music, so I tried to do it as authentically as I could. But yeah, I had to like kind of refrain from doing a lot of, like now I'm more intentional with the videos I do because I wanted to represent something like I am very good and comfortable doing.
How did you break out of the loop that you were stuck in those 2 months?
The pandemic. Yeah, like that was out of my control. Yeah, the pandemic happened and just reset everything.
So coming out of the pandemic, you've been going to therapy.
Correct.
What are the pros and cons of going to therapy?
The pros are the cons. The pros are you get to kind of understand yourself in probably ways that you weren't privy to prior to seeing a therapist. And the con is that like you get exposed to yourself, like you see parts of yourself, you're like, ugh, this is terrible. But you know, with that information, it's up to you to like put the work in if you want to grow from it or remain the same person that you were when you went in. Yeah, it's kind of been my experience with therapy. I love it though.
All right, name 3 cons.
3 cons for therapy?
Because I need 3 pros and 3 cons.
3 cons. All right. So I give you 1 pro and 1 con, right? So I need 2 more?
Well, I don't think you said anything. What was the first one?
That you see a certain side of yourself that you weren't privy to.
My bad, I missed it.
That's all right. 2 more pros. You learn to dump a lot of just baggage on a person that has nothing to do with your personal life. So that saves, I personally feel like that saves your relationships with people close to you. Like you don't have to dump down like your significant other, your mom. If you talk to your mom that often, you don't have to do that to your siblings. Like you're like, all right, I'm gonna save this baggage and like just dump it on this lady, and then I'm gonna go my separate ways after. And lastly, personally, it helps me with time management. It's like I know every Monday at 10:45 I have to do this thing. So I'm doing everything knowing like I need to plan for this regardless of what I do that day. If it be it I'm traveling, but that's really helped me to like really manage my time and like waste not waste time, so like I could definitely be there present for my therapy every week. As far as cons go, there's a money aspect. Like therapy is not cheap, so yeah, but it's a worthwhile investment. But it's definitely not cheap. But I would say like when I first started, I was doing it under Medicaid, and so if you can afford therapy, just a little tidbit there for people out there listening. You can look into Medicaid, and they do offer free programs that you should probably look into. So don't feel like just because you can't afford it, like that's a be all end all. Secondly, you're really just dumping all your info on a stranger, bro. Like that's terrifying. Like, you know, like for most people, you know, like you're not in the limelight, but for someone that's in the limelight, and I'm not even like at that level. I even think about like, I don't know, someone like Charlemagne, the guy that like talks about his therapist all the time, and he's a household name. I'm like, you're really dumping like all these deep, dark secrets to this person, and I don't know. I just think that's kind of terrifying sometimes, but that just comes with therapy, though. That's just the lane that it is.
So your work is well known in comedy circles.
Some comedy circles, DC comedy.
DC comedy.
Yep.
Tell me about how that journey has been for you.
It's been great because I came up doing that with my best friend, and that was like a great way of us kind of building our friendship. But also I learned a lot with him because he's a very business savvy person. So I learned how to run a business and just learn how to be an artist, like in the true sense of it. Like you really just want to be about what it is that you claim to be. It's being very authentic and very intentional. As far as relationships with comics, I didn't really build a lot of relationships with comics because love comics to death, but a lot of them are weirdos. Yeah, but it kind of comes with the territory because to be a comedian, you just look at the world very differently, and like that could definitely, in social settings, they might not be the most healthiest people to be around sometimes. But I really do love and respect what they do, though. It's just a different type of energy that I choose not to be around. People that are just hyper vigilant all the time. They literally see every little thing you do, and that can be kind of exhausting to be around. So I never really built personal relationships with a lot of comedians. But the few that I met and like I do still keep in touch with, they're all great people. Even the ones I don't keep in touch with, like they're all good people. But yeah, I just chose to be cool. I wanted to be cool with, and my best friend's a comedian, so I'm good with that. I'm good with one comic in my life. I think that's more than enough.
How has it been traveling between the West Coast and the East Coast for events that you've been a part of?
So I said that again, sorry.
How has it been traveling between the West Coast and the East Coast for events you've been a part of?
It's been great. It's been, I don't do it as consistently as I used to, right before the pandemic, but I still tend to go to LA at least once or twice a year, and yeah, LA is always an experience. Like I love being out there. Like the weather's great. People are weird, but it comes to being in LA. But the weather's amazing. I have a couple food spots that I always visit that have not let me down. So it's fun to play out there as well. It forces me to like definitely, because LA is very like much to themselves. Like they like their hip hop and like their music that they make. So when you go there, you kind of have to like cater to them. So it's good to always like kind of be in their world. Like kind of, it's a good little change of pace. But yeah, no, LA is fun. I'm actually going there in a couple of days. So.
How have you found balance being from a different culture and integrating into the American culture?
A lot of those challenges came when I was in high school. I want to say like high school was rough because yeah, as a preteen and teenager, like kind of adjusting to a world you're not really like, you don't really understand was a challenge. And kids can be mean. Like they're gonna come at you. Like if they see someone a little different from what they're used to, like yeah, the jokes are gonna pop off. And my school was predominantly African Americans or Latino kids. So like yeah, we were come for each other's necks. Yeah, like I had to learn how to Joan. Like that was just a thing. I never got became too much of a part of it because I had this one friend that would like kind of take up for me, and so I got lucky in that sense of like to this day I really don't like joning on people. Just like not my comfort. And now, funny enough, my girl kind of does that for me now. So I feel like I've always found someone to like handle that for me. But I always had like a physical presence too, so people never really like tried to test me after a certain point. I feel like after my sophomore year in high school, I like bulked up a bit, and like people were just like, "All right, stop making fun of the African kid, so just leave him alone." But yeah, going through high school like with that challenge, like that was like my adjustment period. I think after college, like I pretty much had a good grasp on it, and been able to kind of maneuver through the rest of life like pretty comfortably, I would say. It is cool now that African culture is like winning, like where Afrobeats is like one, if not the popular sound in the world right now. And yeah, we're just kind of getting to be seen in a different light than what we're used to. Like I admire like people seeing shots of Lagos and Ghana, like South African culture, like all these seen in like a very respected light. Like you can see cities and not huts. Like I remember watching movies back then, and every time someone goes to Africa, it would be like huts, and I'm like, bro, that's wild. I lived there my whole life, never saw a hut, so I don't know where y'all be going. But yeah, it's been kind of cool to see that transformation though.
What piece of advice would you give to someone looking to fit into the culture on this side?
Really just be yourself. Like as corny as that sounds, like if you're authentically yourself, people are gonna gravitate towards you and respect you for that. Like Americans love confidence. Like if you can move and do things at your own pace at a very confident level, they're gonna rock with you. So yeah, I would just say like, yeah, double down on who you are as a person and you'll be fine.
What would you say to someone who would find conflict in that advice because they feel the culture chips away at who they're trying to be?
The American culture? There really is no way around it. That's what I'll tell them. Like, it's either you want to fight and go against the wave or just flow with the wave, but find your way to like go through the wave. If you want to fight against the wave, go by any means, try and see how far that takes you. But I promise you, it will not be a fun way to kind of maneuver in this country. Because another big thing that most Africans realize coming here is the U.S. is more so for self, just given its capitalistic nature, and we are a lot more communal back home. Like, literally knew all the names of my neighbors. I can walk into any of their houses any time of the week and ask for food. I'll get food. Now I don't know any of my neighbors' names. Some of them don't even look me in the eye when they're passing by. So yeah, everyone's just kind of like in their world, and like back home it's a little bit more communal. So like understanding little things like that, and just like knowing that, yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust to how things are here just to survive. Like, you need to do that. But again, it just goes back to like, you just be your authentic self and you'll be fine.
Now that you've cleaned your everyday pair, how would you say you treat yourself in comparison to your everyday care?
I could treat my everyday pair better, but because I don't do this, I don't like take the time to clean my everyday pair like I do myself. I think I like to take care of myself pretty well, but yeah, if this is like a reflection of how I treat myself, then I probably need to do a better job of it.
How so?
Because this shoe was filthy when I got here. Well, not filthy, but it was dirty enough. Like, it seems a lot more clean and taken care of right now. But it could be one of those things where you don't realize you do yourself until like you're kind of shown that in the mirror. So it's like actually a good exercise to, you know, kind of see if you're treating yourself well. It's like a little snap to reality, though.
When you reflect on your growth from therapy and figuring out what self-care and boundaries looks like for you, what are the 3 things you've improved on when it comes to yourself?
I'm a lot more sure of myself. Like, I think more than like ever before. I think I love myself a lot more than I felt like I did in the past. I'm not where I want to be yet, but like, we're getting there. Like, we're putting the work in. And really, I mean, I know you mentioned the boundaries, but the boundaries were like a big part for me. That was like a big part of my journey, because I always kind of just let things slide, just kind of let the world slide. And I realized, like, yeah, if you love and respect yourself enough, you're gonna have to set those boundaries for yourself and for others. So like, because it's just very important, like how people treat you and like how you allow people to treat you. So yeah, those would be like the big 3 things that I feel like I've kind of come to grow into this version of myself.
Would you say you love yourself more? Has there been a physical manifestation of that love?
Yeah, I'll say my girl. I was able to like find someone that brings out the best and like the best in me, but also like exposes things that I need to work on. I was about to say the worst in me, but like, she doesn't do that though. She just reminds me of things that I need to like work on and like just be better. And I knew for me to have found her, like, I needed to be in a pace of like peace and just like, yo, I just want more for myself. And yeah, she just came at the right time, man. Like, it was just like, I'm blessed to grow with her and like see where things take us. You know.
What advice would you give to someone looking to love themselves better?
Be patient with yourself. Like, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's a process, but like, if you do it the right way, it could be a very fun process. But it's also gonna be tough though. But yeah, you just have to be patient with it. Just kind of take it day by day. Because I think sometimes we just want things to happen like immediately, and like that's not gonna happen, especially with yourself. Because you could be your best friend and you could be your worst enemy at the same time. So just be patient with yourself. This is a day in my shoes.